Congdon Takeover. I'm your host, Kim Congdon, here with my friend, James McCann.
Hey!
Hey! What's going on?
We're recording this at the end. We've already done it.
All right, let's get into it. No, are we on? We're on? Oh, yeah, dude.
So here's why the Jews had those tunnels. That's what we were getting onto.
Well, let me crack open my beer.
All right. So you've been to Crown Heights?
Yeah, yes.
Yes. Where it's a big black neighborhood surrounding a small Orthodox Jewish neighborhood. They think they've got the Messiah, the Jews in that.
Okay.
So they have all the pictures of the old guy.
They think he's there.
Complicated. Some think he's died and he's coming back. Some think he's not really dead.
Okay.
He's dead. He's probably dead.
Mm-hmm.
But they think he's the guy who's going to lead them back into powerful whatever age of Judaism that would usher in.
Okay.
He said that age would begin when his house was so large that it covered all the blocks. It covered his house had to touch every corner of the block he was in.
He's on Joel Osteen's time.
Yeah, it seems pretty self-serving. But what the Jews in the tunnel were apparently doing is digging the tunnel out from his house, which was connected to I guess that would be what do they call that? Jew church.
What?
What do we call them?
Synagogue.
I don't know
Jew
if they
church.
call it something else. But to connect it to all the four corners under the ground so that it would count as getting the full neighborhood.
Whoa, that's what the tunnels are?
Yeah.
I thought
or blood magic.
Yeah, I thought they were just fucking kids. I don't know.
No, I think it was to make a big house.
Oh,
Isn't that
dude.
cool?
Yeah, that is really cool. They're like, we're not doing this for a bad reason. We just our Messiah wants.
We love this guy. He's not really dead. Maybe he is. He might be hiding.
Damn, even the Messiah's a landlord. He's just fucking.
Well, his house is very large and it's full of many rooms.
I was shocked when I lived in New York because I didn't realize that all the Jewish women were bald. Did you know that?
Yeah, Crown Heights, where the blacks and the Jews get together, that is a great area to buy wigs.
It's a hot place for
It's a
wigs.
gag I've been holding on to for some time.
Yeah.
But then they wear wigs that look like great hair.
The best wigs.
Yeah, which doesn't, I don't think that's what God was asking for.
No, he wasn't asking you to replace your hair with better hair.
Yeah.
He wanted
asking you to glow up.
No, he wanted you to be ugly. That's a lot of the religions. They want to make the women feel ugly or not seen.
Well, let's count them off. Certainly not the Hindus. Hindus don't mind a fly honey.
You're right. You're right.
Now we count it off. I think the Catholics, very beautiful ladies. Very beautiful culture of beautiful ladies.
Beautiful.
Over the years. Obviously, you've got to cover up a little bit in the church so that we don't get distracted by the hot ladies.
Yeah, the Catholics don't go too hard, but they still have the submit to your husband energy.
Well, that's a great energy. That's a good, for a happy relationship, that's necessary.
It's true. If it's, it is. It is.
I don't want that to be taken out of context. The husband must guide rightly. And I'm finding that, so my wife is off all birth control.
Okay.
We just, because we're Catholic and we just have heaps of kids.
Okay.
That's the plan. But like a woman's natural cycle is all over the shop. I think when women are on the pill, it sort of steadies them out a bit.
It does, yeah.
And then off the pill, it's like,
you don't know what's happening.
Wow. It's a big, you can really chart a lot of things. They have someone there who's like having a straight course.
See,
I'm not changing day to day.
How long have you been with your wife?
We're coming up on 10 years.
Oh, so you know. You're like deep, Yeah, he's sometimes like, what's wrong with you? And I'll be like, I think I'm getting my period. And he's like,
you got to put that on your calendar. You got to have that for you.
Yeah.
And I want to say this to men out there who feel bad about not getting a woman to it's a month by month thing. There are days when it's very simple and straightforward, and there are other days where just there's nothing you're going to be able
babe,
to
I'll
do.
I'll get you next month.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
It's about timing it out, and I don't want to be dirty. I was thrown off by the Japanese dildo in the corner.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that is our that's our third guest.
Now hold on, let's think about other religions and if they make women hideous.
Okay.
The Protestants.
I don't know what they do or who they are.
Very different.
Oh, that's a sect of the Catholic Church.
Well, they split up.
Oh, no?
They jumped away. It was close.
Oh.
And
I thought I knew something.
Well, Martin
That
Luther.
was the English Civil War that we taught. She just learned the Cromwell English Civil War.
I just learned-
Protestants,
Sick. Is that what we're
Catholics.
doing? Right.
Don't.
So
Okay.
just,
That's what I've dreamed about, is coming to Kim Congdon's house and explaining the English Reformation.
Don't question
King
me.
Henry VIII was married. His wife had not borne him a son. He wanted an annulment, which is sort of it was a wink, wink, nudge, nudge divorce.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
to say
yeah.
the marriage had never been there.
Yeah.
Because she had been married to his brother, and he had gotten special exemption from the Pope to allow this to happen.
Yeah, because he's like, you your brother. Yeah, get out of there.
But then he was like, he wanted to get rid of her, and then he used that. He was like, no one should have let me marry the woman who was my brother.
Yeah.
That's wrong. And the Pope said, no, we said it was okay then. It's okay now. And so he fully broke off just so that he could get a divorce.
Whoa.
And have because they'd had a lot of civil wars, and he wanted a son. He was dead keen for a son. He had some bastards he, I think, could have legitimized, but he chose not to.
Not good enough.
Not good enough for him.
You can't have a horse son in the war,
No.
right?
Well, probably in the war would be fine, but it's certainly on the throne.
Oh, okay,
I
on
think
the throne.
That is a problem.
Oh,
He
okay.
wanted the war to be over and have a good, and then, oh my goodness, poor. Oh, I mean, we could get
No,
through
go
to
ahead.
some of the
No,
martyrs.
please.
It's so sad what's happened to the Church of England, and I hope they come back home. You know, they start out going, "Oh, we'll just have a divorce every now and again," but we're still the same. And then it's, "Oh, maybe you can wear a condom, and maybe a woman can be a priest." It's disgusting.
They took it too far.
All they do is take it too far. They've got a big child sex abuse thing now, and no one's talking about it because they're Anglicans. Anglicans can rape children as well.
What's an Anglican?
That's Church of England. Now, this is also fun because there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them here. Anglican, like the Angle
Clan.
the Isles, the Angles, I think. Woo, cutting shapes.
Wow.
So when your civil war happened, you kept that religion, but you renamed it Episcopalian. You just kept the same thing going.
I thought that
but
was
without the
eating
king.
fish.
Yeah, it's close. There's a lot of that. There's
Okay.
a lot of that. You know.
Okay.
Anyway, in the Episcopalians, so they've got big churches. They're Protestants, but they're not like hands in the air type rock and roll music type people.
What are they?
Boring.
Boring.
Really dull.
Are they
Wasps.
the longs? I thought that was a slur for Italians.
No, that's wasps.
Oh.
Sorry. Hold on. Maybe my accent's getting in the way. Wasps.
No, I'm an idiot.
Like the bushes.
Okay.
Like
Wasps.
or the northeast people who used to run this country
Got
before
it.
the South got strong again. Wow, the South's getting strong. Are you feeling that?
Currently?
You just look at all the buildings getting thrown up and all the people moving here and all the money, and you go up north and the roads don't work good and the heroin is omnipresent.
Whoa.
Have you noticed it? I mean, how?
Yeah, you know what? I actually haven't really thought about it until just right this second. But now, yeah.
If you asked me who had won the Civil War and I didn't already know, I'd say the South for how they're doing now.
Yeah.
I mean, one of these sides looked like it lost a war.
Yeah, the North's struggling.
North's struggling.
Yeah, it's not having a good time. You're right.
What can be done to turn around the fortunes of the North? What can be done for these people?
More fentanyl.
You know, I think Narcan is prolonging this problem.
Yeah.
Don't ban the fentanyl, ban the Narcan. I don't mean
Whoa.
that. We need Narcan. Obviously,
Wait,
we need Narcan.
But also, ban Narcan is a good shirt.
ban Narcan, I don't mind. We've got to get the Narcan off these streets.
We do.
I might do that as a bit later on tonight. It's you know Mao? I'll shut up. Well, it's
Can you spell it?
Mao. He was the Chinese despot, and when he came into power with communism,
It was a Chinese what?
He was a nasty man in charge of China.
Okay.
Apparently, he would have girls lick him clean in the mornings towards the end. Someone told me that.
Oh, that's got to smell so bad after.
I don't know. It depends on the girls.
Nah,
He's
you
got
have a-
all of China to pick the best saliva possible, but still a terrible thing.
Okay.
If he did it, that might be propaganda.
That's fucking crazy.
He inherited a country that had a lot of opium addicts. 'Cause The
Okay.
English had forced them to, you don't have to do that much forcing for opium. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm told.
Yeah.
And so what he did, he blamed it on a foreign power. He said, "You're only an addict because of these people."
Okay.
And then he put them in the army and gave them a sense of purpose. And then they weren't on opium anymore. So that's how you fix the homelessness crisis. You just draft them into the army. I'm sure.
Kind of like what Joe Rogan did
West
with the
Point will enjoy
mothership.
that.
He just brought all the comics over. and-
Yes. Well, there's something to be said for that because there's like a lot of lost men before the Joe. People in my country get very angry about Joe Rogan.
And on my country too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the head of our biggest television network was asked at a press conference last week, people aren't watching the ABC. That's what it's called. Do you think you might, have some Joe Rogan tactics and get some young men watching television for a change in this country? And it's like, no, I would never. This nasty man.
Oh,
and it's
man.
just hysterical, but they'll just continue to fail. So,
But
God
they
bless 'em,
watch.
God help them.
But they watch.
Well, it's like there are all these men who wanted something to. I remember I started watching comedy 22 12, I probably.
Okay,
I was still
yeah.
doing it, but I
Yeah.
stopped paying attention. So all of this stuff that's happening here and in America was a shock. My brother was following along. He was watching it. He was a big Kill Tony fan, and I didn't know about Kill Tony. I didn't know who Shane Gillis was before I went to see him. Before I wasn't listening to anything. I was just reading my English Reformation books and carrying on. And
Wow.
you kept it going, Kim. You're a part of this thing that
Wow.
kept comedy moving. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Back to Mao.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got to get these drug addicts in the army.
Wait, what did Mao do?
He got him in there. He said, "You're a drug addict."
Oh, and then they
You're not
followed
a
his
drug-"
lead.
But you got to give him structure. You can't just go like, "You're not on sweet, delicious fentanyl anymore."
But you could leave them on fentanyl, or you could leave them on meth in the army, and
Meth
that
in the army is fine. Fentanyl in the army, that's not. I don't want those
No.
people rolling over the trenches very slowly.
Okay, but also you could bring fentanyl in the army and start using it in your weapons.
That's interesting. We just get them addicted to. I don't mind. I mean, bullets will be faster,
Yeah.
but I think that's what the Chinese is already doing to America. Are they bringing the fentanyl in? Do you know what's happening with the fent?
Who's bringing the fent in? China?
Is China bringing the fent?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's. Yeah,
It
it's been
seems to be
China
what
for
people are
the
saying.
Past 100 years.
It's
So
them?
Yeah.
Brought opium to this country and are still.
Is it in my Is it in my Sheen cart? Is it in my Sheen clothes?
It's in. Well, no, Timu's Indian. Excuse me. It might be in. Is Timu
I was gonna say
Indian?
Timu, yeah, but I know. I think Timu's Chinese, isn't it?
I thought they were Indian. There were Indian people in their commercials.
Dude,
Maybe it's 'cause-
Timu shit you get, and sometimes you're like, this looks like it was used. It's like
I've
crazy.
never ordered from Timu. I
I've-
got on the website. I saw that spinning wheel. I got scared and I got off.
You hit 100 on the spinning wheel.
It's like you get 3 free purchases. Like this feels like wrong. This feels like a lie.
Yeah, dude.
Why are they making buying socks a form of gambling?
Yeah, I think I bought a couple things from Timu, and they were trash.
Well, you've bought beautiful. I mean, this is a beautifully attired set and home. I
Thank
love
you.
the deer.
Thank you so much.
Who is this?
This is David Allen Coe.
Who's David Allen Coe?
He's a country singer.
Nice.
He's my boyfriend's favorite country singer.
Those his real tats. That's
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, David Allen Coe. I think he's racist. I'm not sure.
Well, sometimes if you have Texas written across your cum gutters, that can mean something.
I don't know. I think I've heard this name before, and I think there's some racism behind it. I think there might be a racist song. Has he done like a specifically racist song? Like funny racism music?
Yeah, well, he had a whole. Yeah, he had a whole. he had a whole album of racist songs. Yeah.
See?
He's pretty
I've-
racist.
You know, a lot of people in
Well,
their back catalogue have one
can't-
racist
I
moment. David Bowie had his fascist period.
Oh, shit.
Thin White Duke, that was all a fascist thing. It was like Hitler's very interesting. And then people just, all right.
Okay, Hitler's
back
not,
to the,
not
then
interesting.
Then it came out with Modern Love, and people were like, Bowie's back. He's off heroin. He's not in Berlin anymore.
Yeah, we got him back on cocaine and peppers. He's making. Good
Yeah, it
music
was. Well, I think the cocaine might have driven him to the fascism.
Yeah.
What's
for
the
sure. It
what's the
normally
pepper
does.
reference? What
He
peppers?
survived. He
What
survived
happened?
for like 2 years entirely off of milk and peppers.
I
and
didn't know that.
cocaine.
That's
And
fascinating.
an album. Yeah, dude, he's a fascinating guy.
I didn't know about the peppers in the
He's
milk.
a fascinating guy.
I didn't
That's
know he was
exactly-
drinking a lot of milk.
That would be like my boyfriend's dream way to live, just off peppers and milk and cocaine. I mean, you don't do cocaine,
When I'm
but if you
allowed.
did, yeah. I've banned him from cocaine.
Well, it scares me because it feels like it's very expensive.
It's not the price, it's the fentanyl.
Oh yeah, they got that. Can you get a test kit?
You can, but the thing with Coke is that like it has this like they call it the chocolate chip cookie effect, where you could test a part of it, but a piece of
can't-
fentanyl can be in another
You
part
can't
of
test
it.
the whole bag.
You can't test the whole bag unless
Just
you're putting it in water.
One key at a time. It's
Yeah.
such a. Also, there's no moral supply chain for cocaine.
But you can't even test the key. You test the bit of
the
you put it
grain.
in water.
You're doing 1 grain at a time.
No, you put it in water.
Yeah.
And then the water tells you if it has fentanyl. So that bump's gone. And then you
We're
risk
just
the
gonna have
rest of the
businessmen
bag.
like drinking jars of cocaine water.
You could.
I think that was the
New war
start of
tactic.
Clockwork Orange.
New war
Where they're all
tactic.
drinking the special milk. Have you seen Clockwork Orange?
No, but I know they
Yeah,
keep
the
your eyes
eye.
open.
The eye's sick.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a lot of movies. You would be surprised
I
at
don't
how
watch
many.
a lot of. Me too. Me too.
No, I bet I've seen less movies than you.
All right.
I've only seen a Goofy movie and Matilda.
Matilda is. If you're gonna watch a children's movie, Matilda's up there.
Matilda's up there.
Written, I think it was directed by Danny DeVito,
It was.
and he was great in it.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
It's
Oh,
also
yeah.
weird that he's the bad guy and the narrator.
And
So that.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go on. Go.
and Matilda, the little girl's mom, died during taping
No.
of breast cancer, I think. And Danny DeVito like took over and took care of her and
I didn't
got
know
her a copy of the movie before she passed away so she could watch it.
That is very beautiful. I didn't know that. The only thing I know about her is that she's Ben Shapiro's cousin.
What?
I think I'm right about that.
Dude, that makes so much sense. She looks so much like Ben Shapiro.
Can we pull that up?
The fact that Ben Shapiro's
I
Matilda's
believe
cousins
they're related.
it is blowing
Yeah.
my mind. This is bigger than Mao. Ben
Yes.
Shapiro is a cousin of writer and actress Mara Wilson.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Look at her. If you look at her, that looks like Ben Shapiro
That's
in a
Ben
wig.
Shapiro.
That's Ben Shapiro.
Man, I love Matilda.
Me
That's
too.
such a great movie.
Me
She was in a
too.
couple other things that she was very good in as well.
Miracle on 34th Street.
I have not seen that.
That's a good Christmas movie.
There we go. And have you seen It's a Wonderful Life?
No.
Really? Because it's on TV for free every
What
year.
is it?
It's
A
a
Christmas
Wonderful
movie?
Life. It was. Have you seen It's a Wonderful Life? Surely everybody's.
I mean, yeah, long.
Oh
ago.
man, it's so good. I watched it like
Can you
3
pull
years
up
ago.
just
4
so I
years
can
ago.
see what it looks like? It's a Wonderful
It's
Life.
Jimmy Stewart. He's a good man whose dreams never come true because life keeps getting in the way.
Don't it?
Yeah, I know.
I start drinking faster.
Let me tell you.
Let me tell
It's
you.
such a good
it
movie.
does.
And then he's driven to despair. But all the friends he made along the way, I won't spoil it, but my God, I want to
Wait,
cry
this
even
looks
just
like
thinking
a
about it.
wonderful movie that I'd be into.
It's the best movie maybe of all time.
You know-
I'm calling it. People will say, James, you're saccharine. You don't understand America. You don't understand cinema. I love that movie.
Okay, cool. Have you seen The Other Sister?
No, what's the other sister?
That movie is fucking good.
The other sister?
It's about mentally handicapped people.
Oh.
The Other Sister, that one. That's a beautiful. It's a love
she
movie about
is-
two people with a mental
Mental.
You know what
Wait,
I'm trying to say.
Who plays the sister? Who is that?
What's her name? Julie. What's her name, babe?
She does look special.
She
That-
was
they
in the
got
movie.
that picture
It's a beautiful
right.
film. It's a beautiful film. It always reminds me of
Lewis.
Bobby Lee's joke about how he's watching the Down syndrome people on the TV show, and then they go to have sex, and then the camera stop, and he's like, "That's the part I want to see."
Yeah.
And that's this movie. It's like a
we
love
invented
story.
that show, by the way.
What show?
Love on the Spectrum. That's an Australian show.
That's a great show.
Thank you.
It's a great show. You're welcome.
That's the man that came from the network where
Juliette
the guy
Lewis.
was like, "We would never stoop to these Joe Rogan tag." Meanwhile, a couple of years ago, they're like, "Let's get a couple of downies in here. and
Yeah.
watch them try and make out."
They know it'll sell. Yeah, that
She's very
one-
beautiful when she's not pretending to have a mental problem.
Yeah.
Yellow
No,
Jackets.
that movie's a beautiful love story. If you haven't seen The Other Sister, go watch it and tell me what you thought. It's really, 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 really good.
Are you know Quentin Tarantino was in the club
I did,
recently? And
yeah.
did you miss him by? I
By
missed him.
a cunt hair.
It was so
Truly, I missed him by probably 20 minutes.
because I got him on the way out. I
You
think he
did?
said I touched his shoulder and I said, "Thank you for everything."
Whoa.
Just because Natural Born Killers is there as well. But that's all. I think you or someone else said if you wanted his attention, you should have taken your shoes off.
No, it wasn't me.
All right,
but
someone said that.
that makes sense. He does like feet.
I don't know about men's feet. I think he's a heterosexual foot fetishist. I think.
Babe, would you have been mad if you
Straight
walked
as
into the
hell.
green room and it would have been me and Tarantino, but my shoes were off, having a completely normal conversation, but my toes are out? Was that cheating?
Nah, dude, that's If you can be,
It's definitely slutty, but it's not.
I would be
cheating.
concerned. Yeah, it's a red
Yeah.
flag, but no, I wouldn't say that's a deal breaker for me as long as you parlay it into.
Yeah, it's got to be a conversation. I would
Yeah,
think.
no, yeah. It would be
Honey, what was happening?
what was
there?
happening? Well, I wanted to see what he did, and in the middle of him talking, I slowly took my shoe off.
There you go.
And then it was weird to put back
just
on.
doing smelling salts
Yeah.
off your toes.
I bet that happens to him all the time. I bet
Oh, I bet.
this is maybe the only way for a foot fetishist to really to have it be a joke and put it in your movies that people know about it, and then people just start giving you what you want. 'Cause
I
it's sort
bet-
of in the ether.
I bet it's awkward for him whenever there's a foot out publicly.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows, everybody looks at him like,
Well.
oh, yeah. It's like if Crystalia is around a kid or something.
Well, now look, she was 17,
I mean, a young.
and he wrote back to her when she was 18. I think that was the most damning text. Where
Is
he was
it?
like, "You're 17. When's your birthday?" She's like, "May 18." And then May 18 the next year, he's like, "Hello." But he didn't groom
You know
in the
what?
meantime.
I've actually had this conversation before. He's not a pedophile. He's just a creep.
Thank you.
There's a thin line between just patience and pedophilia.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an issue. I think certainly there was some sexual. Is he back? He came back for a little bit, and then it feels like he went away again.
I think
was
he came
staging a
back,
return.
and then someone else was like, I got a story too. They're like holding out. I think they're staggering the stories to get him back in.
You got to really hold off until his looks go away.
Yeah. You got to wait till he's ugly and no one cares.
If he gains weight, he's going to be all right.
Every time he has another kid, I go, oh, something else must have happened.
Is he still with the lady?
I think so.
What an incredible rock. I was reading about Kobe's wife.
That is a strong fucking
That's
marriage.
a strong marriage.
That's a beautiful, strong marriage.
Yeah. No one ever talks about
Dude.
how hard it is to keep it going.
Speaking of strong marriages, Conor McGregor's wife,
She's standing by him?
she posted a whole thing like, if you didn't want to be raped, why would you come to a man's hotel,
Good
essentially.
Lord.
Essentially.
Well-
She didn't say those exact words, but she was like, I'm not going to leave my husband. You went to the hotel too. We've worked it out between us. My marriage stands strong! !
Well, while I support marriage standing strong, that is a rough trot.
That is a bad one. That's a bad one because he's very clearly.
I don't want any beef with Connor.
Me neither. Actually, you know
It
what?
sounds like not a good encounter. Oh, boy, I was reading about the Kobe one.
Yeah.
I don't follow basketball,
Oh, okay.
so I'm
yeah.
catching up on this very late.
Oh, the Kobe butt
With the
sex.
there were choke marks and
Oh,
all these
really?
things, but the
I've
marriage
never-
stayed strong.
But their marriage stayed strong.
But he acknowledged to having an infidelity. But then he also acknowledged, like, I can see that she wouldn't have thought it was consensual. It was a very strange statement. And then he was getting cancelled before the helicopter accident. I didn't realize this as well because Me Too started happening, and his legacy was being chipped away out, and then he died, and he was back.
He was back.
He was back.
Yeah.
It did help
It did help. Him
For
dying
murals?
helped his legacy.
Got to be more murals of him now than if that hadn't happened.
I've never seen worse murals in my life than after Kobe died. It was like every
Yeah.
artist in LA.
Very
was,
quick to whip up a mural.
Dude, it was really bad. And some of them, he looks like a little like gay. It's like there's like a gay.
Well,
Kobe
he was a very
mural. There's sick Kobe.
smooth-looking person.
Yeah, he was hot. But yeah, he was also probably a violent. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
We can never know.
Allegedly.
We can never know.
We could never know. And
What a great basketball player.
incredible.
Clearly doubled down, cared about his family, didn't let that go. Did a lot
Wonderful
of work on
father.
that marriage. Yeah, I mean, I won't be taking my children in helicopters personally, but other than that, seems like a great dad.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't take your kid in a helicopter, right?
No,
Never. No, you wouldn't go
No.
on a family fun night in a helicopter.
not a one time. I risked the Toyota Sienna. That's about as risky as I get with my progeny.
I'm not
Yeah.
putting my kids in a. You know, they had a rule as a family that they couldn't all fly together.
The royal family does the same thing. They all got to take separate planes.
Yeah, for my family, I almost feel like we all have to go. We all
You
go
all
where
want
we
to
all
go
don't.
at the same time?
Yeah, I think that like, isn't it
You
more
Lynyrd
devastating?
Skynyrd?
What? Yeah, dude. I think that when it comes to being a family, I'm like, I would rather all of us go than some of us stay. Is that fucked up?
Yeah.
Unless it's just the children, like half the children go.
If you get to squid out some young, you want them outliving you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking
So
about
they
me.
sit at the back of the helicopter so that I hit the ground first.
You're not putting your kid out. I'm not going on a helicopter either. Fuck that. They crash so often.
Yes.
I hear about helicopters
Although-
crashing more than anything.
Motorcycles are a line ball for me. I will get on someone's motorcycle if they have a motorcycle and they go, like Yoni was like, come across town with me, get on the back of the motorcycle. And I did.
And you
they
did?
Went, oh, so
Did you tell your
nice."
wife?
I don't remember telling anybody until now. My mom's going. So my grandfather lost a leg on a motorcycle, and we sort of had a family rule that no one was getting a motorcycle. But I like instead taking from that the lesson that you got to live with your decisions.
Dude,
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Or die with the decisions, depending on what happens on the motorcycle.
You know, when I lived in New York, when I lived in Harlem, this is a crazy story. I've told this on a podcast before. I was a hostess at an Italian restaurant. And one day this guy came in and it was a really busy restaurant.
Yeah.
Always packed busy. And this guy came in and from the corner of my eye, I could see that he only had one leg and that his knee was like, there was nothing below his knee. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I have to go get this guy seated.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I'm rushing to clean up a table and I come back and I look and he has two legs. And I swear I saw a few times he only had one leg, but he also was holding a motorcycle helmet. And I was like, did I just have a vision of this guy?
You saw a man's ghost leg.
Yeah, I saw. Did I see your future ghost leg? Because then I was like, and I was like, oh. And then I still had a table for him, and I sat him, and I was like, do I tell him? And then I didn't. No, I kept him to myself. It's psychotic.
That can't help you get a tip.
I think you might lose your leg on that thing.
You're like, your leg is...
Your right leg, above the knee, below the knee.
Below the knee.
Below the knee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe you should. Maybe then you'll get more. Maybe people will start. That would be great if there was a restaurant that people weren't going to, and then a lady started having visions there, and then people were like,
the medium.
You must go to Harlem. The girl will tell you if you want to know.
I think your
can be
baby's
done.
sick. How do you like your eggs?
Yeah. Don't get too attached to that child. Let me tell you. Mystic woman. Oh, I've never been to Harlem.
Oh,
I'm
it's
so
amazing.
keen to go to Harlem.
It's amazing.
I want to go to the Apollo.
Yeah.
I would like to perform at the Apollo.
There you go.
That's a great. Have you been to the Apollo?
No, I don't think I have. No.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine getting booed off stage at the Apollo. That's one of my dreams.
That's beautiful. That'll
Getting
bring
the
a tear
keys
to
jangled
my
at
face.
you at the Apollo.
I start crying. Yeah, dude. No, I lived there for a while. It was fun, but I lived in a very crazy corner. 116th and Lexington specifically was my corner.
So this is on the east side,
yes,
and this is 116th. So that's
right on the corner of
just above Central Park.
right on the corner.
I know about the numbers. I
Uh-huh.
spent a lot of time on Google
Yeah.
Maps.
Yep. And it was really crazy. One time I saw a guy slap his girlfriend in the face so fucking hard. I don't know if it was his girlfriend.
It's just
A
possibly a
woman.
lady.
A lady that he was with. And then I kind of stopped, like I was going to say something. And then he looked at me like, I'll fucking hate you if you say something.
Yeah, that's
and
a
then I was
toughie.
just kind of like, all right.
You hear a lot of stories about people trying to break up a public domestic violence situation, and then the woman also turns on them and is like, "How dare you get involved?" you know?
Yeah. Yeah, this is
scary.
That's what I told my sister. My sister's 22 and she like, dude, she when she was 21, she's like, I kind of want to move to LA with you. Like she's like, I want to move to LA. Could I live with you?
Yeah.
So I got a different place, a 2-bedroom, and she moved in with me for a year, like right before him and I met. And keeping her safe, I was like, dude, I can't imagine having a young daughter.
Well, where was she before then?
She was in Florida, but living with her dad. Yeah.
I've had weird America get
Weird.
used to it experiences of like, just when someone comes over to say hello, you pretty much have to go, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
strange.
No, it closes you off. And my sister first, I knew it was bad when she came home from work and she was like, wow, LA's so weird. 30-year-olds really like me here.
That was it? That
Yeah,
was the type?
it was just like older men, anyone 30 and up. And I was like, yeah, dude, you look like you're 18. Like,
Yeah.
that makes sense. And then,
I tell you, I was in Brooklyn for just a couple of nights.
yeah.
I don't think I've ever been as sexually powerful as I was in hipster Brooklyn.
Oh, of course.
This really works in Brooklyn.
Dude, this
Yeah.
is hipster Brooklyn.
I couldn't believe
this
it.
Is,
There's a city in Australia called Melbourne where I also did, I did well enough to meet my wife. Any other city in Australia, she's out of my league. Melbourne was fine. Brooklyn, all of this looks more interesting.
yeah.
I just look, in Austin, I look like a man who doesn't have it together. One of the many men who's struggling and failing. Or in Cleveland, there's no way to make this work. But
Yeah.
in Brooklyn, mercy me.
No, in Brooklyn, you can clean up with
I
those
could have died of
jazz
AIDS
socks.
in Brooklyn.
You could have
I
died
got these from Nolans.
at least herpes.
I went and I bought. Yes, I got jazz socks in the French Quarter.
So Brooklyn.
Very Brooklyn.
So Brooklyn, it'd be like,
Having been
I
to
like
New
black
Orleans.
people music, okay? I listen to black people. I support like the good stuff.
Oh no, old black people.
Old black
Yes.
people specifically. You ever walk by a bar? It's got those like, what are those like almost golden lights with the wires through them?
Lights?
No, you know what I'm talking about. They have the Edison lights. Is that what I'm talking
Oh
about?
yeah, the big old bulbs.
Oh, and then they have old black people singing. You stop at one of those bars, that'll change your life. You see the right old black person sing, it'll
I'll
change
tell
your
you
life.
about your future, which limbs you can
Go to the restaurant in
Have
Harlem.
you been to New Orleans?
Yeah.
It's so good.
Almost got beat up there.
Yeah, there's that too. That's really the two things they've got is the constant threat of violence and real
really
beauty.
good food.
Great food, great architecture, drinking on the street, stumbling around. That's
So
no
fun.
one is blitzed out of there. Everyone's having a good, respectable, nice time, but we're drinking in the street.
I almost got
It's
beat.
the only American city left.
Man,
It's
yeah.
it truly is.
I've not been to San Francisco. People say San Francisco.
You don't need to go.
People bring up San Francisco. It's like, that's a real city. And New Orleans and New York, New York, there are bits of New York where you go, oh, this is a real... I'm walking around. There's a neighborhood. I feel like I'm not in some weird strip mall that goes on forever.
Yeah.
But Austin is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It's man. You don't even have refuge of a great big mall here. There's an okay mall. There's one fine mall.
Dude.
But if you're gonna have this type of city, you gotta have a big, nice mall. The Domain doesn't count.
The problem I have is the airport here.
You don't like the airport?
I hate it. I like the actual airport. It's got good food.
But getting in and out of the airport?
They do a little too much when they bring the bands in. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to... the problem is, I wouldn't mind the ban if they didn't have so few flights out. They have only Southwest flights, which I just fucking hate Southwest.
Really?
I hate the chaos of like grabbing the seat and like hoping someone doesn't... It's like, let's just all book our seats.
It is a very high level of tension on a Southwest
There is a
flight.
lot of tension, and then you don't want people sitting next to you, and they know the whole time you're bored. There's a lot of weird energy that goes into the flight before you even sit down and take
I'm a
off.
heavy set man, so when I sit down, I feel pretty confident.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting the road of myself.
Yeah.
At least maybe someone's over there.
Yeah.
I always check in late, so I always have to be right up the back of the plane. And then it's like walking down rows of people sitting 2 by 2 with a gap in the middle and going,
And they don't want you. See, that's what
they
I mean.
don't want me. It's fine, but then you get to the end, you're like, I hope there's one I can't see just hidden towards the end.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get it. But I do like when they go, all right, like when you're all bunched up, and then they go, after they take off, they go, not as many people on this one, spread out.
Yeah.
That's nice. They don't offer you that on Delta.
I spread out on a
just do it
flight,
on your
even
own?
if they don't. If there's an open seat, I
take
don't
it.
ask the flight attendant. I don't even wait until he's like kind of, ever since we got back together, he kind of makes me follow rules more. He's like more of a rule guy.
Well, that's what they teach you at West Point. They teach you to, do the right thing by your country.
He's
and
a
sit in
rule
your
guy.
seat.
I would say I'm just more less rules, more considerate for other people.
There you go. Oh, I see. I see.
But it'll be things that it'll be.
Kim is not burdened with the consideration of.
Well, that's a good
other
yin
people.
yang. That's a good.
It's not
It is a
even-
good- no, it
Yeah.
absolutely is.
It's not even
You
necessarily
showed me
that.
you get a lot more out of life when you demand it from people. Like,
I'm finding that.
she's opened me up to a whole new world of like, oh, you can just ask people for things.
I don't mind sharing this. Matt McCuskey's lovely wife, Brittany. We went on a trip to Florida. He was doing some gigs near Disneyland.
Okay.
We got to go to Disneyland. But we had a big stroller, a pram, we would call it. But you would call it a stroller. And we were like, oh, we've got to break that down. We can't bring that through the gate. They don't let you. And she's like, yes, you can. And we're like, what? And she just like goes and tells them like, let them get the pram through. And they're like, it doesn't fit through security. And she goes, you do a wipe down. It doesn't have to go through the machine. She knows all the rules. She's
Yeah,
like,
they have these
she
things
got it
that like
done.
they
I've never
can
been-
do it, and then you can bring.
I've never
your...
been so. When they say we can't, you can just go. Yes, you can.
It's
You know they
basically.
can. I love that.
It's basically like when Walmart
But
has.
there is a difference where she knew the rule and she.
Do you not know the
Kim-
rule? You're
Kim-
making
I
up
know
new
the
rules.
rule.
And
I know the
Kim-
rule.
Kim
He
will
no, he
invent
thinks
rules.
I don't know the rule, and he thinks I'm making it up.
I want examples of things you've done that have been
we're
shaking it up.
Dude, we'll be like, we could go to Kava and she'd be like, "No, I know it's supposed to be 1.5."
We go
cup."
to no,
Nice.
it's not
What?
okay.
Just
Hold on.
Make up rules.
Hold
Come
on.
on.
So he very much exaggerates. So his example was that I was asking for 1.5 cups of rice. My thing that I actually did at Kava the other day, we got these $15 bowls. They were already very stingy with the portions.
Okay.
And then they're supposed to come like how Chipotle comes with like little chips or whatever.
No chips.
Or they're supposed to come with little pita things.
Yeah.
And they didn't give us any of them in
you
both of our
said-
things. So I say, hey, can we get the pita things that comes with the meal? That's me being inconsiderate, first of all. And then the
think that's
second thing
okay.
is then she only gave me one. So then I'm like, he get one too for his
Yeah.
meal? And so she had to go back twice. That's his example of me being
Well,
inconsiderate.
no. That's actually a good example because that's where like I would not have got a pita, and you have a girlfriend who's.
That's one where it
demanded,
works
and
out.
now you have a pita. So.
And you know
That's
what?
fine, I'm okay
You've
with
also
that.
clearly worked in hospitality from that anecdote earlier. And so I don't think you're riding roughshod over these people. There's a certain level of respect and dignity.
And lady,
that
don't
once
get
you've
on a
worked there-
sailboat because I see something weird happening in your eye later.
That would be great.
I'm
She's
a
like, "There's
horrible
no,
psychic.
you don't need the pita. You don't want the pita. You choke on the pita."
Yeah, dude.
knows.
Yeah, dude. I will do that. I'll do that. Just basically for me, I feel like everything's so overpriced, and like you said here, everything's a scam. So it's like if I'm paying for something, I'm like, I need
Yeah.
the whole thing that I'm paying for.
Well, this is also hard with the tipping culture, which I approve of tipping. I love tipping.
I
But you
love
gotta buy
tipping
a
when the
coffee
time
and they
is
go,
right.
It's a $6.50 coffee or something. It's some absurd number for the coffee. You
Yeah.
go, I don't feel comfortable walking out of here having a cup of normal coffee. And what are we doing? $8 by the end of this?
Nuts.
This is nutty.
Nuts. You know what's really crazy? The
Biden's
store
America. Yeah.
is like a convenience store, like a little bodega.
Yeah.
They have, when you run your credit card, it asks how much you want to tip.
Yeah.
For the store.
For the bodega.
That's like a grocery store clerk
That's
asking
very
for a
drunk
tip.
people at the end of the night going, yeah, well,
And you know what? They
15.
still get us every once in a while. Every few will do it.
I'm going to tell you right now, my least favorite one is when they give you the thing saying, what would you like to tip? And the bottom one is 25%. Now, we don't tip in Australia. We just have a high minimum wage and everyone knows that they're doing all right. Minimum wage is like $25 an hour. Everyone's doing okay. No one's doing a good job anywhere. No one's doing a good job in the
Okay.
whole country because they're not working for the tip. But 20, I mean, it used to be 15.
the
this
service
correct?
is bad here, by the way, and you're tipping.
The
so
service here is incredible.
here,
In everywhere in America, the service is
really,
crazy step up.
Wow.
For me.
I'm so shocked by that. Have you ever talked to the TSA at LaGuardia? The fucking animals.
Yes.
They're my enemies, dude.
Yes, I have.
LaGuardia Airport
How
has the
nice?
worst.
No, come on. They've turned it around. New LaGuardia's not too bad. It's a
LaGuardia
nice
Airport has the worst TSA on planet Earth. They're the
Oh.
meanest people on Earth. O'Hare, nicest. Some of the nicest.
I love the Atlanta TSA.
Atlanta TSA is great.
Those black ladies were friendly.
Atlanta TSA is really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
I had a great
I have
time.
a TSA
That
ranking.
would be worth sticking around to see until they aren't.
I got to see a couple
See
little.
them descend on something.
It was literally at that airport when I was at the instructions desk because I couldn't figure out what was happening, and there was a black family talking to the black lady before me, and she was being very, very friendly with them. And then
Yeah.
I came up, and it was like a different person was talking to me. Just for a moment, it was like, and then at the end, I dropped the God bless you, and then scales from the eyes. God bless you. It all.
Oh, it turned around.
I wish I could have opened with God bless you. And we
man.
had a nicer experience the whole time.
You're a nicer person
God,
than
you
me.
just found the cheat code.
You did find the
You
cheat
got it.
code.
God is
Bless you.
good.
God bless
All
you.
the time.
All the time.
All the time.
God is good.
Yes, he is. Yeah, whatever the next one
Won't
is.
he do it?
Won't he do it? Yes, he,
He
will.
will.
Genevieve told me that was the next line.
Yeah.
What is it? Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? Yes, he will.
Won't he do it?
Yes, he will.
I tried to do that with an audience at the mothership after she told me that.
You know, it's funny.
and they
It's
didn't give
the
me
reason
anything.
she told you that is because from one of my podcast clips.
Okay.
She was like, I was just talking to James McCann about your
No.
podcast clip about won't he do it, and then he went and did it on stage, and they didn't like it.
They didn't get it at all.
That's what she
That's
told me.
That's a white.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a very white audience.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah, they don't get it. They don't get it at all. They
I've
don't.
been wanting to start a black room in Austin, but I might not be the guy to do it.
I think you might be the perfect guy with those socks.
Chocolate Sundays with James McCann. I wear the socks.
Chocolate Sunday.
I think it's chocolate Sundays. My friend Kyle is in town. He's from Liverpool,
Okay.
and he signed up to. He's white, but he signed up to do chocolate Sundays in LA.
Okay.
They've booked him for 2030. It's like
Hold
May
on.
6, 2030.
No, that's a joke.
No, they said this date is real. 2030. That's how far out they're booked apparently for chocolate Sundays.
That can't be real.
He showed me. It didn't look like there was any wink, wink, nudge, nudge. They gave him 2030. Maybe white
That's
people
like
have to wait.
that's CPT though, so that could be
2060.
I mean, that could be next week. We don't know.
I don't believe in that. I think black people in America are very punctual.
Okay, now
would-
you're lying.
Why don't I don't know.
Now you're lying.
I am finding out some.
Only
weird-
white people are punctual.
I'm finding out that black people love anime at a much larger percentage.
Dude,
than
did
I
you
think
were
the
you here
whites.
for the anime convention? It was all
Interesting.
black people.
That's
It was
interesting.
Black anime. It was like a black.
Oh, it was a black anime convention.
specific.
Well, the fact that they've got their own
convention.
convention.
They love the
you know.
anime, yeah.
This is what Martin
black
Luther King
culture.
was afraid
Kim
would
said,
happen.
"I better not see one of these guys just say the N word."
I did say that.
They'll be
Yeah.
doing Dragon Ball Z screaming and swapping Pokemon cards.
Oh, for sure. It was
Not a lot
actually
of
very,
jinxes.
really, really cute. They were like so excited and they were all dressed up and like ears and things.
It's nice.
I love to see it. I love to see it.
And then the other one is Koreans love fried chicken.
Koreans.
You can't say black people love fried chicken. That's a big faux pas. But if you tell a Korean, you guys love fried
Fried
chicken,
chicken.
they'll go, yes, we do.
Yeah, as long
That's
as
our
you're
thing.
yeah, that's our
We
thing.
cannot get enough.
Mm.
Nom nom nom.
They do love fried chicken, dude. Have you been to Korea?
Never been to Korea. Have you
Okay.
been to Korea?
I have not. I want to go though. Sounds
I know so
fun.
many people who've gone to Korea. People
I bet
keep
they've
bringing
had
it up.
fun, right?
I think mostly. My friend Eve went. She was a teacher there, and just got picked on by the kids. I think. Iba teacher, very fat.
Oh
That
yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Iba teacher, baby.
Oh
That's what
yeah.
they would
No,
say.
I went to Japan. I was huge. I was the
They're so
fattest woman
petite.
there. Please.
Wow. Did you like Japan? Did you go to Japan together?
Mm-hmm.
I am ambitious because it's like one of the only places. It's not on the way to Australia,
Yeah.
but it's like 2 manageable flights instead of one huge one.
Oh yeah.
So when I go back in, I don't know, June next
You
year, I would like
have
to go to Japan on the
to
way.
go. You
Yeah,
have
that's my
to go.
plan.
It's incredible. We had a really fun time. We went for 12 days and it was great.
Oh,
I know that you have to run to a spot soon, but before you go, I wanted to play a little game with you.
Oh, yeah.
You're from Australia. I'm from Florida originally. I don't know
Okay.
if you know that. So Chuck's going to read a few headlines. You're going to guess if it's Australian or
I've heard about
Florida.
Florida, man.
Yeah. Everyone says that Australia and Florida are a lot alike. So I thought this would be fun.
man, there are bits of Australia that are, yeah,
Just like
Brisbane- Brisbane's
wildlife
Florida.
and drunk.
Like people
being
make it
drunk.
sound fun, and then you're there, and it's a lot of highways.
Cairns is Florida.
Cairns is sick. I don't know.
Like
Have
far
you
north
been to
Co-
Cairns?
Yeah, I lived in Australia for like a year.
Where was that?
Yeah, he did. I guess
love
we should have
Australia,
brought that up. Yeah.
Cairns is the best Japanese food I've had. I haven't been to Japan yet. I love Cairns.
I've never been to Australia, but I want to go.
Oh, do it. You could sell tickets in Australia.
Really?
Couldn't you?
I don't know.
Kill
Fuck.
Tony's got a huge following. You'd have a following in Australia for sure. Hold
Maybe I
on.
should
Do you
try.
have your numbers? Do you have your numbers for this podcast? Do you have your downloads, locations?
No, dude. I
He
have no
just took
fucking
over
clue.
producing my. I still have another producer that
All
has
right.
all the numbers. Yeah.
Let's find out how many Aussies you got.
Uh,
Do
oh
it.
yeah. Oh yeah. I need to know.
Do Australia to it.
Dude. Yeah.
can totally get in Australia to it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I can't believe people don't do it more often.
Yeah.
It's you do a 5-city tour. It's 2 weekends. You're in and out. You have a
Oh
great time.
yeah. That sounds great. We
They're
need
big
to do that.
cities.
I saw
You know.
I saw Doug Stanhope in in Melbourne.
I met him in Adelaide. He was playing a small cinema.
Fun.
It's very strange.
Mm.
He was that's where I first had an American Spirit cigarette that he'd brought with him.
Oh
And
nice.
I knew something was right about this country.
When you tasted the cigarettes.
It's like this is better.
All right, babe. Hit us with
It's
the
just
first
going
headline.
on for a half hour.
Let's see. Florida, or Australia.
Okay.
All right, so woman sentenced to life for zipping boyfriend into suitcase, suffocating him.
Man, you probably kill someone in Florida for that. I'd say Australia.
I actually already
That
know
is
this
an
one.
Australian gun, yeah, just a suitcase.
Wait.
Yeah. Was that us? Was that an Australian one?
No, it's a.
That's Florida.
Yeah, I knew that was
That's
Florida
Florida.
behavior.
It is Florida
I'll try and
behavior.
go by the action rather than the punishment.
Yeah, you should, because that is one that we've talked about on the podcast before. That's a woman called Sarah Boone, who told her boyfriend they got drunk together. Told her boyfriend they were going to be playing hide and seek together, and to see if he could fit in the suitcase. And then she locked him in it, and she has a video of him begging to come out, and then he died. And then she went to jail, and she currently, the last I heard of her, she had a quote saying it was the best thing to ever happen to her because it's made her realize how important life is. She's a psycho. What's the
You gotta
next
see the sunny
one?
side, you know?
What's the other one?
Okay. So, man held on $1 million cash-only bond after arrest in connection with trying to arrange to have sex with 2 children.
This
That's
is
Florida for sure.
Unfortunately, those are your people. That was
No.
Australia.
We give you bond for that?
That was Australia,
No
dude. That was an
way.
Australian man. I didn't believe it either.
In Florida?
You can just look at him. He looks American. Yeah, no, he did it in Missouri.
So he came to
Yeah,
America.
did it.
Oh, yeah, he
came
looks
to America for
American.
his
Oh
pedophilia.
boy, I wouldn't be coming to America for my child sex.
This is a
Thailand's
man.
right there.
This is a man I would consider trans-American. This is someone who is
Yeah,
Australian.
You guys
Yeah.
already go to Thailand and to get your
We got
vibes.
so many
Go to Bali,
degenerate
Thailand,
places to fly into without going to Missouri.
Okay, we got a couple more. What's the next one?
It's such a good set. All right, so woman loses over $1 million in elaborate scam that also led her to meeting crook overseas.
I don't even understand that one.
Oh, I'm going to say it's ours then because we have
She got
crook.
scammed for $1 million.
Yeah. That sounds like an Aussie lady.
Is that
an Aussie
Australian?
lady?
What is that?
Let me get one. I can't mean
Yeah,
0 for
that's
3.
those are Aussies.
We say crook. Do you know? Do you
Crook.
say crooks?
No, I didn't even know. Oh,
Crooks?
like a bad person, a
Crims.
crook.
This might be a Daily Mail article if they've said crook. New York
I've heard
Post,
the
though.
word crook, but it's not used, meaning crook during
All right, you don't have
overseas
to
trip.
unplug it. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do this.
Yeah, you
All
don't
right,
have to unplug
ask
it.
me,
Do
ask
the
me.
next one.
All right, so police accidentally shoots herself in the leg at a. Oh well, this is a giveaway. At a supermarket, maybe a Woolies.
Yeah,
maybe a
there you go.
Walmart.
All right, so that's an Aussie.
It's definitely a Florida woman. It's a
Oh,
Walmart.
no, I got that as an Aussie. Yeah, well, that would be. Yeah, we don't have.
You guys don't
our
have
police
guns.
don't often have guns. Sometimes they'll have guns.
It's just sometimes.
Yeah, often tasers, sticks,
Oh,
big
fuck.
torches.
All right, let's fast forward to the last one.
All right.
The very last one. Not that one.
Yeah, I say supermarket on stage sometimes, and I
Oh yeah.
realize that they don't
Supermarket's
call it
not
that.
really ours. All right, last
Grocery-
one.
grocery store.
All right, a woman caught with a golden gun and luggage at airport, jailed for a year.
Oh,
Okay, move the tab.
I'm gonna say that that's it's an Australian because in Florida they just probably give you a medal for that, so
This-
it's really cool.
This one was unfortunately a trick question. It was a Florida woman in Australia.
Oh, nice. Oh, let me have a look at that.
Yeah,
She
look
looks
at
like
her. Double whammy.
Wow.
Yep.
She would have been so beautiful.
She kind of rocks.
She's
I
pretty
don't know.
nice looking now.
Yeah,
Wow.
everything about her. I like her headphones, how they have Google eyes all over them.
Yeah, the googly eyes, the massive,
Earrings.
not real lips. She's gone
Yeah.
too far. She's taken the lips. You know what? Perfect. Don't get one more thing done, honey.
No, that's it.
You've got it.
You
You've
finished.
reached the precipice.
You hit the big boss of
Man,
face stuff.
isn't that strange with surgery? This is something I might try and talk about on stage tonight. I don't know, but it's gotten in my skin. It's like people get a little plastic surgery and they look way better, you know, and then they get a little more and then, wow, just like, and they're just, no one can really pick the moment where it's like, oh, you got 1, 2, up, and you can't walk it back.
Yeah.
You just cross that and then you look not good. You're doing great. I don't know if you've had anything done. You
I
look
haven't had
great.
any surgery yet.
I
but-
believe it. You
Yeah.
look lovely.
Thank
but if
you.
you did, and there are some people in the Austin scene who I see where I go, ooh, just one, ooh, just a little too far.
Yeah.
Someone should have 6 months ago.
There's a line and it's easy to cross. I'll tell you that.
The surgeon's never going to tell you because they're making money off you.
Never.
You got to have a plastic surgery consultant who gets money either way.
It's a great job.
It's not going to be a bit. It's
That
just
should-
like the tits are big enough. All right.
It's not even a bit. That's a great job. Someone should be a consultant, and
Yeah.
that rich people hire where they're like, I want to get plastic surgery. I need you to tell me when it's too far.
Yeah.
That's your whole job.
It was yesterday. Get out of my office. Give me my $400.
Get a therapist, lady. I don't know what's wrong.
Now I'm going to plug if I've got to go, then I'm going to plug.
Oh yeah. Please go ahead.
James Donald Force McCann, Catamaran Plan. Out now on all digital platforms. Trying to buy that boat. James Donald Force McCann, Catamaran Plan. I was just on the Danny Brown podcast. I played him beats from my new album. Sometimes I wish we were a catamaran. He did not want to rap on any of the beats.
Oh no.
Do you know any successful rappers?
I know a couple. Yeah.
Who?
Some in L.A.
Who?
Denzel Curry.
You know Denzel Curry?
Yeah.
He's friends with Danny Brown, and
Yeah.
he might.
He's a really
having
nice
heard
guy,
that,
though.
not
He
wanna
might
do it.
actually do it. Unless Danny Brown already called him and was like, there's this dude from
Stay
Brooklyn, I
away.
think. I don't know what's going on.
I love Denzel Curry. He did one of the first time I heard, what's that band? They had you know that song. Last night all I think about is you. Glass
Well,
Animals.
Mama, take
Middle
a
of June. The first single off that album was Tokyo Driftin' that
Okay.
he was on, and he does a great job.
He's great.
And one of my favorite memes is him.
We'll have to hit
I
him
am
up.
the one, when a guy's got something that's fallen over or something.
Yes.
Wow, that was a good vine.
Yes.
If you would help me get Denzel Curry to play him my beats.
I'll
I'd
shoot
be-
him a text.
All right.
I'll shoot him a text. Is that all you want to plug?
Yes, James Dolphins McCann. New book of poems.
Get this man a boat,
New book
dude.
of poems. Splish Splash is out now. I'm thinking of starting a sandwich shop.
Okay.
We're just going to sell one sandwich. It's going to be a totalitarian themed sandwich shop women wearing uniforms, and you can it's called No Choices. That's the name.
Okay.
You show up, you get $15, whatever it is, whatever we settle on.
I love it.
$15. Here's your sandwich. Next. That's it. No choices.
No choices.
No choices.
I love it. I love it. I will be going there and complaining and trying to change
I
it.
haven't decided what the sandwich is yet.
Okay, good. Oh, I thought it changes all the time.
That would be maybe a better economic choice because you could always get the cheap thing for the day.
Yeah, and then you could have it's like that people don't know, but they go get the sandwich of the day or the week.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, KimCongdon.com, Childless MILF on YouTube, Magic Prank Show on Netflix. My other podcast is Spitch with Sarah Weinshank. James, thank you so
Thank
much
you
for coming
having
on
me
the pod.
I've been trying to get, I don't know if you have a lot of women listeners. I've been trying to get women listeners for
Well,
my
good luck because
podcast.
I don't.
Oh,
Let
no.
me
Is it
know
all
if you know
dudes?
any
Is
women.
it all dudes?
No, there's more women on this than I think the other stuff
It can
that I
be
do.
hard to break out and get the women audience.
It is, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
But
and they're
there's
good
a few.
consumers. They
Yeah.
buy.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know? Who has a woman podcast in this? I'd hope this was the woman podcast.
You tell me, sweetie. I don't know. I'm
We'll
trying to find
find
it too. Thanks so much for coming on, and
God bless you. Thank you for having me on this beautiful podcast.
we'll see you next week. Bye.